Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be starting my reviews of some of the games that are on the original Atari 2600, also known as the Atari VCS. And I'm going to be covering 25 of the best games on the console and 25 of the worst games on the console. And I'm going to start with the worst ones. Well, without any further ado, let's go on to those games. If you're expecting to see this game on this list at any point, you're mistaken. If you're expecting this game to be on the list, go find another list of the worst games on the Atari 2600. Because this was not the worst. This game, E.T., was not the worst game that was on the system. Far from it. Because there are a lot of awful games that are on the original Atari. And this game, well, I'm not going to deny this is an awful game, but it's not the worst game ever. And this game is highly cited as being one of the causes of the crash of '83. It wasn't. There are a whole lot of factors to a crash of '83. This, I'm not going to deny, was one of them. But there were many others. Like, let's see. Other poor quality games, some of which were released around the same time as this. Another game I'm going to be covering here momentarily. If you know what it is, bear with me on this one. Another cause was all the low quality products that were around at the time, and that everyone was making games on the Atari. Well, let's see, Parker Brothers, Quaker Oats, or at least a company with them, a whole bunch of other companies that should not have been making games. And while at least Parker Brothers weren't bad, there was a lot of bad stuff. Another thing that caused the crash were computers. Now, enough of the crash, and let's get into the games which I truly think deserve to be called some of the worst games on this system. This is the first game I'm going to cover on my list of the worst Atari games ever. Some of you might know what this is. This is the Atari 2600 version of Pacman. And while it's not it's not the best game, but this is by far one of the worst ports that's on the system, and it's worth covering in this game. I mean, this is just a generic maze game. And if you saw this, you probably wouldn't know it was Pacman unless someone told you. And this game was loaded with all sorts of problems. Like, occasionally the power pellets will not work on all the ghosts. Here's the fruit right here. And that obnoxious flickering, and no sprite to go up. So, yeah, this game has issues. A little worse than, say, E.T. for one. And there are a lot of bad arcade ports on VCS. A few which I'm going to cover, but there are also some good ports. Like, for example, the 2600 had one of the best Frogger ports. And really, this game looked like it was rushed more than anything, similar to the way E.T. was. And considering that game only had 6 weeks, it wasn't terrible. Now, this game, can you think of anything good to say about this game? The sequels to this game are much better. Or at least the Atari 2600 versions. This is just bleh. And it doesn't even feel like the arcade game at all. Now on to the next game on this list. Number 24 on the list. Next game on the list, Super Baseball. I mean, look at this. It only remotely resembles a baseball stadium. And the players almost look alike except in color. I'll give them a pass on it. But look at the gameplay. Could that guy possibly run any slower? mean, the AI, the batting does not seem to be very good in this game. As you're going to see momentarily. It barely ran, I'm already out. Now, I could have just stuck at this, but still. What type of baseball game is this? I mean, there are other baseball games that are on this system that were pretty good. And ones that didn't look quite as good as this, but I'm done. #23 on this list. Championship Soccer. Now granted, it's no secret that some of the ports on the Atari 2600, that some of the sports games on the Atari 2600 sucked. But this is probably one of the worst graphics-wise. Look at these. These are just little blocks that have more dots as you move. And I'm not going to fault them for a square ball. And the AI is decent, but all in all, this is not a very good game. I mean, look at it. There's three guys in each team going around the screen. Not much like real soccer, is it? And there's going to be a lot of sports games in this list, because the Atari was loaded with bad sports games. This one, Championship Soccer, was not one of the better ones. In fact, I would say there's only a couple of good sports games on the Atari 2600, which I'm going to be covering on my list of the best games on the unit. I mean, really, these guys, what a weak enemy AI. What a weak opponent AI. I mean, really, we're just passing the ball back and forth, not doing anything. Damn it. Okay, the fireworks are pretty good, but the gameplay, not so much. You're just you're a bunch of squares. Even for when this game was made, they could have done better even when this game was made. The gameplay is addicting, but all in all, is not one of the best games on the Atari 2600. And this is not one of the games I would go out of my way to get. Here's another bad sports game on the Atari. Double Dunk. I mean, seriously, both teams look alike, you're barely in control. You don't know who's on your team. You can barely recognize a basketball court. I mean, seriously, who thought this game was worth publishing? I mean, honestly, how are you supposed to get points here? Oh, I got one. Or two. Oh, out of bounds. Huh, figures. A game that's terrible. I mean, I was reluctant to put a basketball game on here because there's another one which is actually pretty good. But this is the exact opposite of that one. You have no idea who you're controlling and both teams look alike. Oh, I'm done. This is probably the... Now, this is going to be the last game I'm going to be covering in this video. Sea Hunt. Easily one of the worst games on the Atari 2600. Why? Well, here's the pattern. The shark's gone, jump. Ooh, I made it. Okay, now I didn't. I got lucky that time. But look at this. Jump, die. Jump. Here comes... I can't even control him up here. Die. One thing to note that you really can't control your guy till... Okay, roughly there. Okay, let's try again. Jump. You barely even control that point, and their harpoon is slow as hell. Okay, jump. You die. Jump. Oh, I got it this time. Ah, damn it. Let's see. Try again. Jump. Ooh, I made it. I'm getting lucky this playthrough. But look at this game. Okay, maybe. Jump. Huh. Ah, die. You have to have these guys exactly right, or you're not going to do it, or you're not going to do anything. And when you die, you have to start the stage all over again. I mean, this is real fun. Jump, die, repeat. Jump, die, repeat. Real fun, right? Not. And I should know that none of these games are in any particular order. Because honestly, this game is towards the top of the list of the worst games on the console. Yeah, a game distributed by Froggo. A company really sounds like they know what they're doing. And you're going to see another game by Froggo later on this list. Or at least one they distributed. And if you know what game I'm talking about, you're not going to be surprised when you find out what spot it's at. I'm done. So, both games are pretty bad, weren't they? But this is just the beginning. Both are just 21, both are just 25 to 21 on my list. So if I was ranking them in any order, Sea Hunt would be in the top 5, and probably in the top 10 or top 5 worst games. And I mean, seriously. And for 25 I'm covering, that doesn't even scratch the surface of the terrible games that are on this unit. Because there are a lot of them, and they're probably more bad games than good games. I mean, the only company that made good games was Activision. You're going to see a bunch of those in the other list. Well, stay tuned until next time when I cover the worst games on the 2600, numbers 20 to 16. You won't be disappointed. Actually, given the quality of games, you will be disappointed. Well, until next time.